Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and the Oklahoma City Thunder are one win away from the NBA Finals. Yes, I said that right. The Thunder are one win away. The Thunder took Game 5 last night, 120 to 109, in a game where we'll kind of get in. There was a lot of different storylines that kind of made this game what it was. We'll kind of talk about the hero of the game, as most of you know, it's J-Dub. We'll kind of talk about his performance. We'll talk about the Pacers side of things with Tyrese dealing with that injury and him struggling throughout the whole game and not being a big contributor at all. And then we'll kind of look at two or three Thunder bench players that kind of made the difference in this game on top of the J-Dub stuff. But like I said, last night was Game 5 of the NBA Finals back in the Paycom, and you could just tell that the Thunder were feeding off of the energy that the fans brought in the Paycom. It's still, every time I see this atmosphere in the playoffs, it just feels like it gets better and better every single time you see it on TV. You hear Mike Green, you hear Richard Jefferson, all of them on the ABC broadcast talking about how this is their favorite place to be in the playoffs because of how crazy this atmosphere is and the fans are. But kind of talking about the game in general, this was a game, it felt like a lot of game one where the Thunder pretty much had control, or it felt like they were in control of this game for the most part. But the difference was the Thunder were able to finish this game compared to game one, where they let the Pacers stick around and eventually hit that game winner. And in this game, it just felt like the Thunder's defense was so suffocating. It felt like the Pacers, once they got inside the 3-point arch, there were three Thunder defenders right on the ball, and it was crazy to see. It felt like that was more of the way the Thunder should be playing their defense every single time. And when they do play defense like that, it feels like they're unstoppable to score on, even pass the ball, because you try to get a pass on, it feels like there's two guys in the passing lane that are trying to steal that ball and get pushed out in transition. Um, but it was just amazing to see on the defensive side of, like I said in last video, the turnover battle is going to be the biggest thing. If you can obviously live off those turnovers and that's your identity, it's going to make your offense flow easier. It's going to make you play better. And we saw that the Pacers had double the amount of turnovers the Thunder did, and it showed. I mean, when you have a guy like Tyrese not fully healthy but still not being aggressive and can't get any shots to go down, it's tough for the Pacers because now you're having to rely on Siakam, which Siakam's proven that he can do that, and he gave them theirs. And you had guys like TJ McConnell go off tonight, but when your best overall player doesn't make a single field goal, that kind of struggles. But we'll kind of transition into this next point of, this was the Jalen Williams games, guys, and this was a big game not only for him, because this is one of the biggest games in NBA Finals history for in general, not just, this is probably the best game J-Dub's ever played in general. I mean, you dropped 40.6 rebounds and 4 assists in a 2-2 game 5, a game 5 where the series is 2-2. It's hard to get much bigger than that. And to do it as a 23-year-old, and to kind of prove a lot of people wrong, because even after J-Dub got an all defensive team nod, he got an all NBA nod. He was an all-star this year. People were like not fully convinced. They were like, they're just giving it to him because the Thunder are so good. They have to have two guys along with Shea. He doesn't really deserve it. And now on the biggest stage in basketball, he goes out there and he was effective from all three levels. He was able, the Pacers were not able to stop him downhill. He was finishing at the rim. He was drawing contact, and we were shooting the ball. Last game, the Thunder had a total of 3 mades in general. J-Dub had 3 by himself, and then you had Wallace and Wiggins with 3 apiece. You had, who was it? Somebody else had 3 threes as well. So, I mean, when you can get that contribution from the outside, it opens up that inside lane. And I mean, J-Dub used every single metric he could to score on the night from the mid range and everything. And he looked like the best player on the court. And now people are questioning if he has, let's say, game six, he goes off for another 30 plus point performance. Does he have a case to possibly win Finals MVP? And still think it'll be Shea. Shea scored 30 in all 4 games, and then last night, this is going under the radar, but I mean, Shea had 31, 10 assists, and he had 6 stocks. He had 4 blocks, and nobody's gonna really pay that close attention to it because you had J-Dub go for 40, and that's amazing. But when it's crazy when you have your MVP of the league dropping a double-double with 6 stocks, and nobody's really talking about it because you had your second best player go off like this. And I'm interested to see now. Granted, we still have work to do. We still have to win another game, and preferably you just close it out in 6, so you don't have to worry about all the stress and anxiety of a game 7. But for me, it's just a thing of where is Jalen Williams putting himself in the player rankings? Is he a top 20? I think most people going into this season knew he would around a top 30. I think if the Thunder finish and he finishes off the game clinching or the finals clinching win with, say, another high 20, low 30 game, you kind of got to look at him as a top 20-ish player in the league. I mean, he's going to be the second option on a championship winning team that won 64 games and had one of the best seasons in general. And I think you're going to see people start talking about him in that top 20-ish players list. So we'll kind of see. We'll see how that affects once we get into the offseason the next season, where people kind of have him ranked and what their thoughts are on him as a second option on this team. And now kind of transitioning to the other side, Tyrese Halliburton was terrible once again, and a lot of people will use the excuse of the calf tightness on his right calf. That was kind of him trying to play through it. But even in the post game, Tyrese was saying, "If I'm able to walk, I'm playing. It's the NBA Finals. Like, I don't care." And I understand that Tyrese is like a pass first point guard. He's not going to score and all that, but when you're the best player on a team that is 2 wins away from the finals, you cannot go scoreless, one, in the first half. But he didn't make a single field goal this entire game. And people are trying to put him up in that superstar category. He's not there yet, guys. I'm sorry. I know he's an amazing player, and when he is playing his best, he's amazing to watch and one of the best clutch players. But superstars they don't play this bad in a game that matters so much. And I don't think you can use the excuse of the leg injury that much, because if it was that bad, he wouldn't be playing. And I know people are going to be like, well, it's the finals, he's going to play through it. But yeah, if it's a calf thing where if he's wanting to push through it and it's going to make it worse and possibly injure him for game 6, there's no point of him playing. And we kind of saw that Rick Carlisle, they were only down about 12-13 with 2 minutes left, and he pulled the plug. He put the bench out there, which was surprising because the Pacers are known for those miraculous comebacks, and to see him kind of give up early, it kind of showed that the Pacers just weren't really up to how they know how they can play. And it showed in this game. I mean, the Thunder showed that they were the better team all year, and they showed that they were the best team in the NBA, and they have a 3-2 advantage. So, and then kind of one last point I wanted to talk about for this game, because everybody's going to be talking about J-Dub and Tyrese and how those affect the rest of the finals. But Wallace and Wiggins combined for 25 points off the bench. And that kind of, hopefully that doesn't go unseen, because you had TJ McConnell on the other side give them 20 and kind of get them back into the game at some points. But then you had Aaron Wiggins and Kaysen Wallace, who both had three threes, which was massive because you have a guy like Wallace where you think his confidence is going to be on the decline because he was starting early in the series and then they take him out to go back to the double big lineup. So you're kind of curious on how Wallace is going to play. Is he going to be aggressive? Is that confidence kind of getting to his mind mentally? And it didn't show. His three threes were massive. It kept the Pacers from getting back into it. And then you had Wiggins, who, I mean, this just shows that the three off the bench of Caruso, Wallace, and Wiggins, I mean, it's none like other. Those three guys are Wiggins, I wholeheartedly believe, would average 20 on a team in the Eastern Conference as the number one option. I mean, he just goes out there and he plays so hard. He can score at all three levels like we saw last night, finishing around the rim, shooting the three ball, playing tremendous defense. And it showed. I mean, those two were one of the big reasons we won this game, not only because you had J-Dub and Shea combined for 71, you add this 25 on to that, and four guys combined for 96 because Chet had another bad offensive game. He only had 9 points. He had 11 rebounds. He was a menace on the defensive side, and we'll take that any day. But once again, another bad game on offense, shot 4 for 15 from the field. And one more guy I want to give a shout out to because he's not going to ever get the credit that he needs to, but something I kind of noticed this last game is Kenrich Williams. He played 11 minutes this game, and it's not going to show up on the box score, but he just played tremendous. He played good enough defense on Siakam. He's one of those guys. He's a bigger guy, so when you go out there, he's going up for rebounds. He's getting those rebounds where normally if he's out, it feels like the Thunder give up a lot of offensive rebounds and second chance points. Every time he was out there, it felt like after the Pacers missed, he was the one to go up and grab that, and it's something that kind of goes unnoticed, but he's a great rebounder. He's just a big physical guy to kind of slow down the guys of Obi Toppin and Siakam. And I know he'll never get like the full credit, and I know some of us Thunder fans know how good he can be and how much he means to it, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to him because I noticed that when he was out there, he was playing great defense. He was getting the boards, limiting the Pacers to a one and done and helping the Thunder get out in transition. But this was just a great game all around. The Thunder played great, and now they're up. Now they're one win away from an NBA title. But now it doesn't get any easier. Now you got to go back to Indiana in a Game 6 where you know that crowd is going to be just as riled up as our crowd was last night. And you have to play, like Mark Dagnall said in the press conference after, we have to keep improving. Like, we have to get better if we want to get that one more win. And it just feels like the Thunder have to win 1 or 2. They've only lost back-to-back games twice this year. So, like, even if the Thunder lose a Game 6, you get at home Game 7, so you're feeling confident about that. But I know the Thunder players are not focused on, oh, we get Game 7 at home. They're going to want to finish this in Indy. You want to win. As much as it would be fun to win in front of Oklahoma City and have everybody go crazy, as a player, you know, if we can end it in 6, win on their home court, and just prove that we're better, like we know we are, and it'll be an amazing game. But let me know what you guys think down below about this game and the series heading forward with Game 6. I mean, Jada was amazing. What more can you say? Shea had his, and the bench helped. So, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.